Welcome. This is Days in Joyland, the podcast. Hello, I'm Brooke from Brooke Makes Fun. We do that. We're making things fun. I've got Ross Doehling here. Woo. Emrys Michael. Oh, I added the
You did.
Emrys Michael. And then Serenity Dougherty on the end there. Hopefully you watched our showcase and will understand we might make references to some of the jokes. So maybe just stop really quick, watch the showcase, come back, or just watch. I actually should not tell you to stop because you might not come. Anywho, we're here. I've got some questions. These are going to be really fun. I'm just going to get to it. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Questions for Brooke. Hi, Brooke. How are you? What would happen if cats took over the world? Okay, so I know a lot of people are allergic to cats, and if they were in charge, I couldn't imagine what it would be like if we were uncomfortable with someone in charge. That would be a really hard, adjustment, I think, to make, especially if you were, having actual physical tremors and reactions and hives, and maybe I don't know if it would be a good idea. Anyone else have an idea of what it would be like if cats ran the world?
We'd have to redesign pussy hats. You know?
Yes.
Ears.
Ears.
Meow. Meow, meow.
Ross, what do you think about cats running the world?
I think it intrigues me. I don't really know much about cats or the world. I think it sounds fun. I don't know. I like cats, and I think it'd be nice. You know, they're not. From what I know about cats, they don't really bother you when
you're trying to be on the computer, or if you're trying to eat, or if you're trying to watch TV and they just come in front of it.
Well,
they
maybe
never
I guess
bother
they
you.
do. I don't know. I've never had a cat before.
Don't they just hit stuff off of things? They're kind of
They're asses.
Mm-hmm.
They're mean.
Okay, one real quick cat story. I heard cats in my alley, and it was a really terrible it sounded like the cats were getting tortured, that something terrible was happening. And I got out there and it looked like they were making out, and I was confused. I didn't want a cat block in that situation. So I looked it up online, and apparently Serenity is nodding. Mm-hmm. She knows. So the male cat, when it inserts, it has all these little razor blades that come out of its wee-wees.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And then it actually is scraping and quote-unquote tearing up the pussy, which is why it was screaming like that. Science.
Mm-hmm. Science.
So yeah, if cats are in charge, they are crazy. Woo! For questions for anyone. So anyone, what are you reading right now? What are you currently reading? Serenity, are you reading anything? Your academia?
Yeah, that's it. Just academic books, unfortunately. I wish I had more. I do read a lot of, because I research comedy, I do read a lot of comedian bios. So I've read Hannah Gadsby's book, 10 Steps to Nanette, and Ali Wong's book, Dear Girls. Both of those are two of my favorite books that I've read recently. They're really good. You should check them out.
I think I actually listened to Hannah Gadsby's on our not on a podcast, but her audiobook.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very, very good, actually.
Yeah, because she reads her own audiobook, so yeah.
Emrys, any books?
I don't read that often. No.
Oh. I'm on 36 for the year. Wow.
Yeah, no. I couldn't even tell you the last book that I ever read.
That's okay.
I have read Ted Notaro's biography.
Okay.
That one was fun.
Very good. And you were able to tell them that?
Yes, when I got to meet them at Pride this year. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
That's wild.
And I was right up against the stage watching the performance. Tig could have sweat on me and it would have made my day.
Yes.
Okay, it was great.
It's amazing.
I never learned how to read.
Surprises no one.
No, honestly, that's true because the teachers were teaching how to read wrong. And they actually now figured it out. And they're like, whoops, we taught like for 12 years everyone wrong. So that doesn't surprise me that you actually don't know how to read.
Oh, yeah. It was wrong for sure. Because for years I was sat in front of books and taught how to read. And I don't know any words.
It's because they tell you to like guess. Sorry, you can't even?
I can't even spell my own name.
Y'all are laughing, but literacy is a serious matter. Books. I like books. I'm reading a book for a book club, but it's like kind of dark, and so it's like really hard for me to read. And like I need happy, I need some joy, I need like a butterfly and like a rainbow little situation, and there's no fairies in the book. So it's really hard. It's called Cuckoo. I probably am pronouncing it wrong. Cuckoo! Cuckoo! Yeah, that's what it's called. It's an interesting book. Emrys, can you please describe your FYP on TikTok? That's your For You page.
Currently, it's got a lot of like horse and equestrian stuff on there because the girl I'm talking to is a horse girl. So, for some reason, the algorithm just picked up on that. Mm-hmm. That's about it. It's got that, a bunch of the Olympic stuff, and I don't really even know.
Mostly though.
Mostly that. Like it's just been overrun by a lot of horse
Olympics
stuff. Yeah. I'm obsessed with Rave Horse. If you guys don't know who Rave Horse is, they are like the number one like dressage horse, and it's when they like dance to the music. Have you ever seen a horse dance? Oh my God. Snoop Dogg covered the Olympics back in 2020, and he was like, oh, the horse is crip walking. And it was the greatest thing. You got to look it up. I freaking love it.
Everyone, pause and look it up. Just kidding. Don't pause. Don't pause. Look it up later. Very good. You were talking Tig Notaro, and I wanted to ask everyone if they had a comedian that would be like their dream comedian to open for, to tour with, maybe to have them mentor you.
Oh, man. I think it would be really hard for me to pick just one. Like Maria Bamford has been my favorite comic for a long time, but right now I'm really digging Ali Wong's stuff. I think she's one of the most like underrated comedians, and she's well known and well regarded, but she's still underrated. Like that's how good I think she is. She's amazing, and I would love to like learn from her for sure.
I would like to see how Todd Barry spends a day. He's a comedian, and you know, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say about it. I like, well, really what I'm going through right now is I'm struggling to answer the question who I'd want to tour or open for or be a mentor, a mentee.
Is it because it was a 3-part question and you didn't learn how to read?
No, it's because I'm too closed off to ever have wisdom instilled in me.
I think it's because he's afraid to admit that it's me after that really shocking set I just did. It's like I don't want to be affiliated.
I would like to tour with Serenity Dougherty from Lincoln, Nebraska.
That's true. Yeah, he's already there. He's already there. Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to answer. Let's go to a specifically meant for Ross sheet of questions.
Let's go.
Tell me your true feelings. No, there's more. On bananas.
On bananas? Uh-huh. I really like bananas.
Okay.
They're fun. They're the funniest fruit, perhaps.
Because people like slip on them? Or you can use them like a phone?
Yeah, just like,
or like a donkey.
There isn't one thing that
you
you
ever
can
slipped
do.
on a banana?
I have.
I've pretended to.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I've ridden a banana across a room before.
I believe that.
You heard it here. Okay.
But they're pretty cool. Like,
do you eat them?
Mm-hmm.
How?
And that's all I do with them.
Like, okay, I don't mean to ask how in a weird way, but like, do you like chop them up and put them in pancakes? Like,
No,
put 'em
I
in a
just pick
smoothie?
one off
Like,
and put it in my mouth.
do you peel it for?
No.
Does anyone have a banana we could feed him? Okay. Okay, this is a strange question. Do you have water in your apartment?
I mean, there's water in there.
But
Is it coming out of a faucet? No.
I feel like this follow-up question for Serenity will fit nicely at this particular moment. Which soap do you use for your rash?
Well, that's the problem. I haven't been using any. So, like, you know, if you guys got recommendations. Personally, I like the
gentle.
way, I like the way Irish Spring smells, but I
That's a
feel like it
strong-
would burn
Yeah,
and not be fun, you know.
No, something like
Yeah.
a Dove.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Can I just use dish soap?
No.
I feel like it's got to be gentle. It's
Use
gentle
some
enough
Aveeno.
for animals.
Use
Yeah.
Aveeno.
Dishes are like serious scrubbing. Like you just like.
It's not that it's gentle for animals, it's that
Yeah, it
it's
does.
strong enough to get all that dirt off of
I
them.
feel like just like any soap.
No, not any. Not
No.
any. And I can
No.
tell you from experience, never use witch hazel if there's any
No.
any chance that it's a fungal situation.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll feel like there's just razor blades cutting you up.
this feels like a personal story.
Yeah, it was a hard. I wouldn't say summer. It was more like fall to the beginning through December. I sat on ice packs.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeast can get intense. Anywho, how many abortions have you had?
All of them. I said I don't have kids. Some that aren't mine, you know, like just getting as many as
We
I
actually
can.
have one scheduled right
Yeah,
after
right. Actually, I'm
this.
gonna be late. Yeah. See you later. Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay, Ross, do you think that parasocial relationships are unhealthy?
I don't even know what that means.
I feel like the word parasocial is the hard one there. Because if it was, do you think relationships are unhealthy?
Well, that's a whole other thing.
Right, or do you think paranormal relationships are unhealthy? Like relationships with ghosts? But what's parasocial? Actually, can you help us with that word?
Yes, parasocial is like when you're watching like a YouTube personality and you feel like you have a close relationship with them, but you don't really because you don't know them.
So
but
like
you know intimate
transference,
details
but in
about
therapy?
them. Yeah, it's like this is a parasocial relationship. It's not actually a real relationship. It's we feel like we have a relationship.
Like Kate Morrow when she's doing squats and teaching us how to do squats, even though I'm not doing squats, it feels like I have a relationship with her, but I don't. Do I feel like those kind of relationships are unhealthy? Do you think they're unhealthy, Ross? Do you have
Well,
relationships with internet personalities?
I don't. It doesn't really sound really all that unhealthy.
Yeah.
I guess like if you're like, I don't know, like what an example would be of an unhealthy one. Maybe if like you like they become your super ego or something, perhaps that wouldn't be good. But just I think having a connection with somebody making content isn't that bad.
Yeah,
it seems
viewers.
like the whole point.
Right. Don't turn off. I feel like Serenity had something she wanted to say there.
Yeah, I have an example for you of an unhealthy parasocial relationship that would be like your relationship with Laura Croft as, Tomb Raider. That's an unhealthy parasocial relationship. You need to date real girls.
That was an excellent response.
So
I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
She really
I don't know
went out. She did.
why.
I
don't know
can't.
why.
She's talking to me?
yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
Well,
Wow.
way to not yes and. I'm so sorry. My bad. My bad.
Well, I'm sorry. I
He's a
didn't
stand-up comedian, not
realize.
an improv.
Oh, you're right.
I didn't learn how to read books or social cues. So I thought you were talking to Brooke, maybe.
Well, she probably also has an unhealthy. I mean, I do. I'll admit it.
Obviously.
It's the suit. It's all of it.
The unhealthy
porn,
relationship.
Yeah. There's some really interesting Laura Croft porn out there.
Oh, yes.
It's its own category in some sites.
For sure. I'm basically a womb raider when it
The
comes
whole.
Jesus.
to Laura
Oh,
Croft.
I might
Get
need
in
you
there.
later.
I think it's something
I
like
feel
left,
too young
left,
to be
right,
on this
right.
podcast for
Yeah.
some reason.
Control start. That was fun. That escalated in a nice way. Ross, I have a question for someone, coming from someone whose parents really wish that I would have been normal. What is it like to be average?
It's pretty all right, you know. It's okay. It's so.
When people get awards, do you ever get one?
No. But that's all right, you know. I'm average and I'm proud of it. I ain't trying to be somebody I'm not or conform to society's standards.
Of social cues or whatever.
Yeah.
And literacy.
He'd have to read them first.
Or a book.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't think that you can really say what it is like to be average because most people are.
Huh. Okay, thank you. Emrys,
Oh, God.
what is it going to take to get that dick? I didn't write this, okay? This isn't my question. Someone else wrote it, but they wanted to know what... You know, I feel like that they should just DM this to you and you can...
Oh no, I want to read it. I
I
need to
could
see
just
this.
ask it. I wrote it. What I wrote was, what's it going to take to get that dick to swan dive in between my legs? You know? It said,
now do you understand why I wanted you to
I have
maybe
to clear
get
up the rash first, obviously. Trying.
Oh my God.
I'll work on it.
some Irish Spring? How do you feel?
But
I'm a one partner kind of man, and I already have one. So I mean,
yeah, that's okay. You know, all good things come to an end, and when it does,
and so will this conversation.
I feel like this is an excellent follow-up question for Emrys. Where is the most embarrassing place that you've ever farted?
I don't know, probably the hospital room where my grandma was dying. Just felt like a really inappropriate time and place.
Sure.
It's not a quiet one when I thought it would be. It's fine.
Sure. Ross, what do you think about farting? I feel like you would just like leave and go fart somewhere like away from people.
If I know it's coming, yeah, but I fart a lot just on accident. Like,
You too? Yeah.
like I'm probably farting right now and I don't even know.
That's the unfortunate thing about watching this later on TV. You can't smell what's happening live. Very good. Emrys, getting jacked, eh?
This is only 1 week in the gym, so I don't know what you people are talking about.
You can't feel it from where you're sitting, but it is hot under these lights.
It actually is. I'm dying over here.
Okay, what would happen if cats took over? Just kidding. Question for Brooke. Do you prefer to pick your nose in the bathroom or in the car? I've never thought about where I was. I'm just always like, oh, I gotta get that out of my nose. When I was a kid, I had like really, really bad allergies, like worse than I have them now. And I do remember like farmer blowing a lot of snot in elementary school.
That's the only way to do it.
And then wiping on the couch at home, on the side, on the wall. Anyone a booger putter on places? I should probably get that analyzed. Not the actual snot, but you know, the behavior. What was I trying to do? I just wanted to be important. I want to belong, show that I, you know, brought something to the world.
Put your mark on the world.
Anywho, we'll move on.
So gross.
If you can still remember, what's your funniest childhood memory? What's your funniest childhood memory? Serenity, was anything funny about childhood?
There's so many ridiculous ones. Let's just say there's just so many. But one of them, a solid one was I was in dance lessons for 13 years, which you cannot tell because I'm a really bad dancer. But I grew up in a small town and there really wasn't a lot of like after school opportunities, right? There wasn't like a martial arts gym. It was dance lessons or it was nothing, right? So one year, because I was growing so fast, my mom would be buying tap shoes used. And one year, my tap shoes were too big, grow into them. And I did not lace them tight enough. And during the recital, I straight up kicked one into an old lady's face. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. It was very, very funny and embarrassing.
I love that something funny causes someone else like plastic surgery.
Well, like I couldn't, the other thing was because it hit her right in the face and it was very shocking, like they didn't just like give it right back to me. They were trying to make sure she was okay. So everybody else is like tapping and I'm sitting there with one tap shoe on like, what do I do? Do I just get off the stage?
Did you keep tapping?
You double time it.
No, I think I just stood there like a weirdo. My mom was like yelling at me afterwards. I feel like, what were you doing? I'm like, sorry, I lost a shoe.
And Riss, any funny stories about holding on tight to a pig or something and growing up?
I mean, I used to go outside to check on my younger siblings, and they'd just be riding the pigs in our pig pen at home. Like, I didn't know you could domesticate a pig and ride it like a horse, but good job, buddy. I don't know. We did just a lot of stupid stuff on the farm. I remember there was a time we found like a mat that was kind of used for like pole vaulting, and we put it underneath the 2-story high barn door, and we're jumping out of the barn.
Yes.
Onto the mat.
When you're really, really far away from a hospital.
Yeah. And as a kid, you're just like, Mom and Dad won't let me play. This is dumb. And as an adult, you're like, oh, we could have been hurt.
Yeah. Like 1 story would be maybe probably fine, but 2 is pretty high. Okay.
So I like it. No.
Serenity, do you have a story about when you were being a comedian but in a professional environment?
Is that what the question is? What?
So like
That's
you mentioned
messed.
earlier about when you're supposed to be professional,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're like
I'm always like very out of place in professional environments, and I definitely say inappropriate things on accident. But also I have done stand-up like at academic conferences and in front of my like dissertation chairs and stuff like that. And the last time I think it was the last time or maybe the time before that I headlined Zoo Bar in Lincoln, one of the people on my dissertation committee was there, and I was just telling like just the filthiest jokes because that's what was going over. Sometimes if you're a comedian, sometimes it's like I had all these other things planned, but they're really only laughing at the sex stuff. So that's where
you
we're
gotta
at.
make them laugh.
Yeah, and then like halfway through it, I remembered that I had someone from my dissertation committee in the audience, and I was like, shout out to my, one of my dissertation readers here, and everybody was like, are they really? Like so shocked. I'm like, yes, I'm not well behaved. I try.
But at least you're with adults and you're like with college students. You're not like doing it when you're teaching preschool and you're like.
No. But I did, I worked at summer camp for middle schoolers. It's called Young Writers Camp, and if you have a middle schooler, you should send them. Shameless plug. But one of the prompts that I gave them, so we're talking about farting in embarrassing places, one of the prompts that they had this time around was, what is the worst thing that you can say after accidentally farting at a job interview? Woohoo! And that was very fun. We had a lot of really fun.
What kind of things would you say?
Somebody was like, oh, sorry, that's a ghost. And someone else was like, that was just my vape. Like weird stuff. Like, they come up with some wild stuff. They're like 13, 14 tops, They're wild. They're really wild.
That's fun.
Don't worry, it wasn't a fart. I shit my pants.
Yes.
I was hoping we would have time to get back to you again, Ross. I have some questions. What Spice Girl is your favorite? Do you actually know the different Spice Girls?
The only one I know is, no, I don't.
Can we
I
help?
know Mel B is a Spice Girl, but I don't know which one.
Is she ginger?
Sporty.
Sporty Spice.
Scary.
There's a couple male, female.
Scary.
They're scary, sporty, ginger, baby, and posh.
Who's your favorite, Serenity?
Well, when I was a kid, Sporty Spice was my
Okay.
favorite. But now that I've gone through puberty, all of them. That's where we're at.
If I have to get with you and all your friends, let's go. Another question for Ross was if you have a driver's license.
I don't.
What? I've seen you drive. No, wait.
Yeah.
I've just seen you walk.
Yeah, I don't. My license expired like 6 months ago.
I feel like
And-
you know how you kind of confessed to not paying your taxes earlier? Like this might be maybe another moment that you shouldn't have told the whole live world that you don't have a driver's license. It expired?
Yeah,
How'd you get here?
I drove.
He's just like slowly sliding off the grid, you know. He's living with his parents, so like there's probably not your name on
There is
any of
no
those
paper trail for
documents.
Ross.
Yeah. Dang.
Actually, I don't live with. I moved out
Oh.
of my parents, but
So there's a start of a paper trail.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know your favorite smell before we move on. What's your favorite smell of all the smells?
my favorite smell.
Uh-huh.
Probably cigarette.
Maybe this is why. So like there was a time where I kissed a boy that smoked cigarettes and all of a sudden I like loved the smell. Is that what happened to you?
No, I kissed a cigarette. now I love them.
I love that.
Did you French kiss it or just suck its face? Never mind. You
Ross
don't have
has a
to answer
parasocial
that.
relationship with the Marlboro man.
And it's healthy.
It's healthy. So good for you.
Emrys, did you do streetcar racing?
Yes, I did.
Did you soup up a Honda Civic?
No, I did not.
A
I'm better
Subaru?
than that. Maybe.
Tell me some information. Did you lose your muffler on Highway 370? Oh wait, that was me. I had a boyfriend that wanted to tinker with my Honda Civic. It had a V6 or V8 or something. It was
Probably a
fancy.
V6. If
VTEC.
it was V. That's good. I would have messed with your car
They know.
too.
The street racers know. So did you street race?
Yeah, when I lived in a town that's not this one.
So you could go out in the country and race really fast.
Yeah, if you want to call North Platte the country.
And we do.
Yes, we do.
Very good. 30 seconds. Is
Yeah,
there
no,
anywhere?
legal reasons I will not
How do you
disclose.
how do you want people to find you? If people are watching this and they want to find you on the internet, do you want them to find you? How do they do that?
Yeah, I'm all over the place. Facebook, Twitter,
Yep.
Instagram. Yeah.
We'll have a link or something in the links.
Yeah. You can just Google me.
Basically,
You'll
yes.
find
Sam.
me.
Same.
Yeah, if it's not Emrys Michael, it's Angsty Little Boy, so that's how you can find me.
Leave me a good rating on Rate My Professor.
Are you also angsty little boy, Ross?
Well, yeah, but I'm a real angsty boy.
And I'm Brooke Mixpo, and that's our time. Thank you so much.